Hello and welcome to part 10 of our Serendipity Booksellers C++ software development. In this video we will be changing our arrays or strings to characters and C strings. And so for this chapter's assignment you will modify the program to use C strings. This will prepare the project for future modifications, and we will also use library functions to make the program search capabilities easier. So here's what we're gonna be doing. For example, for book title, we will replace the current array with a two-dimensional array of characters. The array should be 20 rows and 51 columns. The rows represent the number of titles available or to store. So we will again be able to store 20 titles. And the 51 columns, that's the number of characters. So the book titles of up to 50 characters in length. Similarly, ISBN will be 20 rows, because again, all of them will be 20 rows because we have 20 available titles to store. But the second dimension for ISBN will be 14 columns because we will store 13 characters in length for the ISBN. And so forth. The same for author, publisher, and date edit. We will be just changing the number of columns for each. Now, for the book info function, again, the ISBN will be a 14-element character array because the title will be 51, author 31, and so forth. We will also write a function called string upper. This function should accept a pointer to a string as its argument, and it should convert each character in the string to an uppercase letter. In other words, whatever when we'll be searching or something, everything will be already running through this function, thus convert it to uppercase. Makes the search easier as well. So the addBook function, again, the function will call the string upper to convert the following items to all uppercase, and it's gonna be the book title, ISBN number, author's name, and publisher. In other words, pretty much all of it except obviously the numbers. Numbers will stay the same. This is just for strings. So, and it says that the items will be converted to all uppercase, so searching will be easier and each book's data will be stored consistently. In other words, if the user enters something with uppercase, something with lowercase, this way everything's gonna be uppercase, it will be consistent. The lookUpBook currently requires the user to enter the full name of the book to search for, but we will modify it so the user only has to enter part of the book title. So there's a hint saying use the string function to search the title in the database or in our arrays in this case. Now it is possible to find more than one book that matches a partial title, and when that happens, we will show the book title to the user and ask if that's the one being searched for, and if it isn't, we will continue searching until there are no more books titles in the array. So every time we encounter a matching string to the keyword that the user entered, we will present it to the user and ask if this is what he's searching for. If not, we'll continue. If find another one, we'll present it again, all the way until there's no more titles available. editBook, the same thing. The user enters the full name of the book to search for, but we will use the partial book. And as mentioned before, there's possibility to find more matching books. Now, before storing modified book data into the arrays, we need to make sure that the string upper function to convert the characters in the title, ISBN, and number, author's name, and publisher's name is being used. So we have to call that, otherwise the search wouldn't work because we need everything in uppercase. And delete book, the same thing. We will do partial search and present the user which book he or she wants to delete. Okay, so the first thing we can do is create the string upper function. So I'm going to create a new file, and it's gonna be a CPP file. and I'll call it string upper. Function's quite short, and it will allow us to uppercase the C string. So we have to first include the C type library, and now we can do the function itself. So the string upper, not like that, nope, I'm sorry, void string upper, and we will pass in the we will be passing the pointer to the character that we are passing in, and while the string is not equal to 0, which means as long as there's still some strings, some characters to in the C string, then we will be looping and converting them all to upper string. After once we reach the end of the C string, we stop. So string now equals to the 2 upper and string plus plus, and that's all the function that is needed for this. But we also need the header. So let's create a header, and we'll name it the same thing, string upper. That's gonna be the name of the file, and we'll simply do the prototype for our function, string upper, these parentheses, string upper, and pass in the character pointer. So that's our header. So I'm gonna save that, I'm gonna save the function, and that's all we had to create for the string upper. The next thing, let's do the main menu. And here is where all the arrays will be, the C string arrays. So we already have a constant size, but we don't want to call it size anymore, because this is not the one-dimensional array anymore. We'll just call it a number of books. It's just gonna be one of the dimensions for the array, and we create another constant for the size of the string, which is 51 according to the exercise. Now let's create the these as character arrays. Character, and this one too. The others obviously stay the same. So we're not gonna have the size anymore. We're gonna use the number of books right here for all of them. That's our new size. And while I'm at it, let me see if I have to know. There's no size here, so we're good with that. But since these are character C-string arrays, we need to add the second dimensions for the length of the string, so which is the string size. So I'm gonna copy that and paste it right after these character arrays. All right, so that's all for this one, for this module. And next one, I don't know, we can do either the reports or inventory. So let's do one of them, well, after I save this one. So I'll close it so it doesn't clutter my space. And what's next? Let's do book info. Now for book info, we don't need the arrays because we are passing the values from them into our book info function. But we need the constant for the size, so the string size, which is the 51. Now these are now not strings, so these are characters. So I'm just gonna do that, character and character date. These integer and doubles obviously stay the same, and I have to pass the string size to it as the column or the second dimension, because again these are character strings. So I'm gonna copy paste this for the ISBN and paste it for the title and author and publisher, and also for the date. All right, these will stay the same, and now we need to of course modify the header for our book info. And basically these are now not strings but character arrays. That's our prototype for our book info function. All right, so that's the book info. That one wasn't too bad, fairly short. So next one, let's do the cashier and the header as well. I'll open that. I don't know if I'm gonna need anything there, probably not. Okay, so for the cashier, actually I'm gonna open the main menu, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy paste the whole new signature for the arrays into my cashier over here. So that way I don't have to type the whole thing again. And the only difference it is that this is external, so I have to get the extern keyword in there for all of them. And that's our definition for our arrays. And okay, so now ISBN number is no longer a string, so it's a character, and it's not size, it's number of books, and the second is string size. So I'm gonna copy this thing and paste it for the title, and the quantity, not the quantity, I'm sorry, for the transdate. The transdate just needs the string size, actually doesn't need the number of books. But these quantity arrays, they obviously now don't have size, they have the number of books as the upper for the arrays. Message I'll leave a string because that's not really part of the lookups or editing for the inventory. This is just for our function that we are calling to re-enter the ISBN or the title and so forth, so we don't repeat ourselves. Okay, so here we need to do a little cleanup. So where it says getLine, we obviously are using a C string, so we have to use that that kind of format. So it's gonna be string size. Over here it's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be C in getLine, the ISBN counter, and the string size as the second parameter. So this one will be now number of books, not a size. And we have the title, that's correct. But we are using C string, so we can use a different way of comparing the values. I'm using the string CMP function for that, and I'm gonna compare the ISBN number of the counter with the ISBN number of the index. But you know what, I don't want to really call it index, because index is pretty much for one-dimensional array. We are having two-dimensional arrays. We have a row and a column. So instead of index, I'm gonna call it row, and this one too. Okay, so that's that. So it's gonna be ISBN instead of index. It's gonna say now row. So it compares it, and if it's a match, then we can proceed to display our records. So this is a row, this is a row, and this title now it's going to be, since we are again using C strings, I'm going to use string copy function, and it's gonna be this title, and I'll pass the book title row into it. So it will basically copy the value into this title. It's not string copy, it's a string CPY, sorry. So it's gonna be this title, counter, comma, book title. Okay. What is it saying? Do I have it? Oh, I have this title as string. I'm sorry. Of course, it's a character. Okay, so I have this one as well. I forgot to change them to characters. So that's why it was underlined. All right, so that's our. Now we go to validate the quantity. If that's okay, we proceed. We do our while loop again, and if everything's okay, this is gonna be row. We will go ahead, and if it's not okay, if the ISBN number wasn't found, so if the row is equal to num books -1, then we will display that the ISBN number was not found. All right, that's actually, I think, might do. There's nothing in here, and this is just our function for another transaction. Let me just quickly scroll to make sure that we didn't miss anything. And I think we're good, so I'm gonna save it. We don't have to do anything with the header, so I'm gonna close the cashier module. And what's next? The inventory menu. So let's open inventory menu and the header too. And okay, now in inventory menu, remember from the description of the problem, we have to convert things to all the C strings to uppercase for easier search, and so we have to include our string upper header right on the top. And I'm going to copy paste the from the main menu. I'm going to copy paste again all these. Actually, no, I'm not going to do it from the main menu. I'm going to do it from the cashier, because that's already has the extend keyword in it. It's already set up for me, so I'm going to do that instead. So I'm going to close my menu, and I'm going to copy it into our inventory menu like that. All right, so what do we have here? We have our menu right here. We're entering the choice, that's okay. It's the functions for the lookup, edit, and add book that we need to change. So we need to change this to character and string size. I don't think we'll need the found anymore, because this is gonna be quite different. But we will be asking the user, remember there's possible multiple matches. You know, the title can have the same keyword. Those multiple titles can have the same keyword that the user entered. So we ask the user, is this the title you want? And if not, then we'll loop to another one and ask again. So we need I'm going to create a character, yes, no. And basically we'll be asking the user whether the title is correct, if that's the one that the user wants. Again, I'm gonna change this to row instead of index, and that should be all right. So I'm gonna clean up the get line. So the search title will be search title and string size, and we are calling the string upper function, and we pass the search title to it. Since search title is character string, and it is then that's what we are passing into the function, and it will convert it to uppercase. All right, so and now instead of all this, I'm going to not do while loop while found. I'm going to do a for loop instead, because now I have the row equals 0, row is less than number of books, and row plus plus, and in it we will, and this is for the lookups, in it we again compare whether we have a match. So if the string, and it's the book title of the row, if that matches the search title, then we go on and display that possible match is found, because we have because user may not enter the whole title or just a portion of it. So that's what we are. We're just kind of matching character after character. So if the I'm sorry, that's all right. If that matches, then we have a possible match found, and we can display what the book title is, the first one that was found, and I'll do one more so it's not crowded there. So when it's displayed, we ask the user, is this a correct match? Yes or no. And user will enter yes or no, Y or N. So, and we'll capture it into our yes, no character. But if user entered something else than Y or N, we need to make sure that we ask the user again to enter correct input. So while yes, no, not equal to Y, and yes, no, not equal to lowercase y, and yes, no, not equal to uppercase N and the lowercase n. We'll ask the user to re-enter. So we will say cout, please enter Y or N. And we can, I'm just gonna repeat all that a possible match was found, but we need to enter Y or N. Okay, so, and now if yes, no equals Y, in other words, if it was a match, or lowercase y, if yes, no equals lowercase y, then we have a match, and we can do we can add the or display the information, except it's not gonna be index, it's gonna be row. Like that, and this one and this one, and I'll type it correctly. It says yes, no. And when we found it, there's nothing else for us to do. Once the user confirms that that's the title, we'll break out of the function. There's no need to do anything else. But if so we have that. Except obviously, I'm sorry, this comparison has to be after the user entered the correct value, yes or no. That's when we are breaking out. And over here, what all we have to do, if we reach this end, if the row is greater than the number of books -1, in other words, if we are at the end, then we know that, hey, we searched the inventory, there's nothing to be found. Okay, so that's that. Let's do the addBook now. And again, we don't need the found anymore. And instead of one while loop, we will do the for loop. So if for integer row equals 0 or row is less than the number of books, or row plus plus. If that's the case, I'm gonna copy paste all this. You know what, let me move this down. You don't need to see all that. I'm gonna cut it and paste it into our for loop. And I'll clean it up because now we have the cin dot getLine, and it's gonna be book title index string size. All right, so and after that, let's not forget we need to call the string upper function and paste the book title to it so it converts it to uppercase. Then we go to ISBN. Again, we'll clean up the cin statement like that, paste that, and not x, not index, it's the row, and again string upper, and we are passing the ISBN, so ISBN row, and author the same way. That's gonna be cin dot getLine string size, and call the function string upper, and we are passing the author, so author row. And this one too, this one is cin dot getLine, that's the publisher, and let's call the function string upper, and that's the publisher row. Oh, too many parentheses there. Oh, I'm missing one here. Okay, like that. So that's the publisher, and finally let's do the date edit, cin dot getLine string upper date edit row. Alright, so whenever we have the quantity on hand, that stays the same, except index will obviously be row. Actually, all of these will be row. I'm sorry. I forgot to. That's because I didn't rename it. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm not really actually, I'm not even using this one. I'm just using it over here. All right, so that's the row. I don't have to declare it on the top, just within the loop. Okay, so that's how we display everything. And at the end, we say the record was entered, and when it was entered, we'll break out. There's nothing for us to do. And if we reach over here, then it means that there were no more books to be added. Because we are full, the inventory is full. Okay, so editBook, that's gonna be similar, kind of. Let me see. I'm gonna have the integer row instead of index. A choice is for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, but I will need the yes, so character, or yes, no, sorry, for the sub menu kind of thing. And of course, the search title is gonna be character, and we'll change it to string size like that. And clean up the getLine. It's gonna be search title, and not row, string size. And just like we did before, I'm not gonna have a while loop. I'm gonna have a for loop, so I'm just gonna do for row equals 0, row is less than the number of books, and row plus plus, like that. And if that's the case, again we have the possible match, so I'm gonna copy paste the over here this whole thing. Yeah, the whole thing, the whole if statement, because if we match the book title, then we have a possible match. Please enter, that's correct, yes, no. And we can do the if yes, no. Let me see. Oh, we already have that. So that's after the while loop. And this is the editBook. So now I can delete this after the for loop. We still need the do loop to display the menu again. After the match was found, we'll display what do you want to change. Do you want to change the ISBN, title, and so forth. So that stays the same. That's after our for loop. So I'm gonna actually format it a little better. I'm gonna move it all. What is it? I'm gonna move all of this a little to the left, so we'll decrease, just so it's lined up better. So we display the menu, and over here we have the row. So we break out of that, we found the book, so the row basically holds the index for what we are displaying. And so that's the ISBN, current title. Now current title, we need to, since we are getting line, we need to change that to what we used to do before. So it's book title, row, and string size. This one's row, but we have to change the sin.getLine. We don't have to do it for the ISBN because we're capturing the whole thing. So string size, and this is row, that's the publisher. Again, sin.getLine, publisher row, string size. And I changed my mind, I'm gonna do it anyway. Sin.getLine, and I'm going to do the ISBN row and string size, so it's constant, so like that, so it kind of matches the pattern, and it should be that way anyway, I'm pretty sure. So and this is gonna be row and row and string size. All right, now this is just the quantity, so we just change the index to row. We don't have to mess with any characters. And that's all. That displays the thing while the choice is not 9. And when it is, we'll break out because there's nothing else to really do. And over here we'll do our if. Let me see. I'm too behind, one bracket behind. So I'm gonna copy paste that. This is the while. We'll break. I think I'm having one extra. I have to figure out. I'm not in the correct loop, and because this, I'm sorry, the do loop. My bad. And I'm gonna copy paste it. It's within the if statement. If we have the match, we don't actually break yet. Instead, we display the menu afterwards. Do the switch. That's correct. We'll add the while loop here. That's correct. Then we will break because there's nothing else to display. And this one is if yes, no. And let me just delete all these because I'm a little, so many brackets. If yes, no. If, and after that, break on 2. This is that's our end loop, our for loop right here. So this is I have to mark it end for loop, and if yes, no. And this one is if the matches. So I need one more to end the function void. So this is our for loop. That encompasses all of it. That should be correct. And when we get out of here, if it doesn't match, if it don't break out, then we can do still within the for loop. If I should be no after the for loop, sorry. If the row is greater than the number of books -1, I probably shouldn't have deleted it because I can use the message cout. I'll just write it again. It says sorry, no title matching, and it's gonna match the search title was found. Okay, and I just put the parentheses there. So that is our edit. Now let's do the delete. And I don't need that. I don't need index. I won't actually need it. I'll just use it within the loop. But I need the date. I mean the search title, which is character, search title, and string size. Character confirm. I'm not sure if that's gonna be needed. I'll keep it. And integer row. I'll do it. Integer row equals 0. Character confirm. And we will need to change the getLine. So in getLine, search title, and string size, like that. Now after we enter the title, we need to go to string upper and search title. We'll pass it as an argument. And once again, we will do a for loop, so it's gonna be for row equals 0, row is less than the number of books, row plus plus. And let's do the comparison. So I know what, I'm gonna copy paste it from here. If this all matches, then we'll be able to, then we know that we found our title that we want to delete. So if that matches, we have please, we have possible match. And oh, I don't have the yes no, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna do character yes no. We'll just pass it in there. And if that's the title that the user wants to actually delete, then user presses will ask afterwards, okay, do you really want to delete it? So over here, when it says if we found them, if the response is we'll ask for the response. So we have our yes no, we'll have our information here, and after that we will ask the user, cout, would you like to delete entire record? Yes, no. Actually, let's make it like that, and we will get the cin, and I'm gonna change it, not confirm, yeah, I have confirm, I'm gonna change it to response, and we will capture the response for the whether or not the user wants to delete it. And after that we can do if the response equals y, or the response equals y, then we delete it. Let's delete the book title of the row, and we'll paste it as a 0 there, and ISBN row, and the second dimension is 0, and we'll make it equals 0, like that. So equals 0, and we can display that the message was deleted. So cout record was deleted. And if that's the case, we'll break. Whether if the user presses N, then nothing happens. We'll go back and display the menu, so we don't have to do anything else. We'll just break. So I don't need any of this, and after the break, let me see. After the record was deleted, we can do an else, and that says that's if user presses N. And we already know that the user pressed either Y or N because we are checking it over here. And else it's gonna be cout record was not deleted. And then we'll break. And at the end, we'll check if we found the book, if we didn't find the book. So if the row is greater than the number of books -1, then you know what, I'm gonna copy paste the message. That basically says the same thing. The record was not found. Like that. All right, so that should be all for our inventory menu. This one was a little longer. And I have an error here. I forgot the comma here. So we pass in the search title, and I'm not passing it as in the brackets, obviously. So that's the delete. And yeah, that should be all for the inventory menu. We'll see later when we try to compile everything. So that's enough for that. And what's next? That's the inventory menu, reports. Okay, so I'll delete. I close this, and let's go to the. Oh, actually, you know what? I may need. Let me see the headers for the inventory menu. I'm going to. Yeah, I need to. I need to add the. Void. No, I don't. I think I'm good. I think. Never mind. Let's do the reports. So I'm going to paste the arrays again in my reports, and it's gonna be like that. So I don't need the cache here anymore. Let me close that. Alright, so what do we have here? We have the reports, integer choice. Let's just displace the navigation menu and listing here. So we have a character date. That's gonna be the string size. That stays the same. Our date, and this is gonna be obviously the number of books, and if that matches, we display that. End of report. That should be all right. Let's do the wholesale again. Character date, string size. We'll capture that. This is gonna be the number of books. And which one is this? The retail. Again, just the date, character date, string size, and number of books. We changed that already. And for the quantity, we need to change these to number of books, and number of books. And of course this one too. And let me see, now we have these pointers here, so it's an all integer, so that should be all right. Just to change the number of books, change this to number of books, and that should be all right. Similarly with the cost, it's kind of like the wholesale, just changing the size of the array to number of books. Oh, the date, of course. Where is it? Over here. I have to change that to character date string size, like that. And age. Now age is a little different because age we are searching for a string, so these will be number of books as the size, but over here the string will change to character. So we have that, and size, and now the max value, remember the max value is string too, so that's character now. So we have to change that. We did. That's good. And this will be number of books. That should be all for the reports. I don't think we need to change the header. No, that should be all right. So let's build it. Let's see if it works. Well, let's see if it builds first. There was a lot of copy pasting, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bunch of errors there. Let me see, so far it's building. Well, we have some syntax errors. So what did I forget here? And oh, I have the bracket here. That's wrong, obviously. That's I don't want that. What's the next one? Oh, it might be the same thing. So let's try to build it again. Oh, I see. Oh, I already see. Okay, so that's gonna give me an error. Okay. Oh, and that's because it says it's deprecated. Okay, to do that, to fix the, you can see the message here. It says this function, it might be unsafe, but I'm using I'm using the string copy instead of string copy _s, which is the newer one. But to change that, I'm going to go to my to project and properties. I'm gonna add the come on, project properties. Oh, maybe it's over here. Yeah, in our C++ and preprocessor, over here where it says preprocessor definitions, I'm going to click edit. And oh, now I don't see it. I have to move the window down, okay, so I can see the message. And I'm just gonna add it to my preprocessor definition. So it's underscore CRT, CRT underscore secure, no warnings, like that. And that should actually fix the deprecated problem. Let me just go it down and let's try to build it again. Let's see what it says now. And the error, so far no error. But oh, this is an error, of course. It says it cannot convert, which is true because remember, our date edit is now a character, so we just delete that, and it's not a and that should now, hopefully that was the last thing, and we have a successful build. All right, let's run it and see what it does, if anything. First, let me go to inventory module and add some books. So I'll add like 2 books, title 1, ISBN 1, author 1, publisher 1, and let's do 5/27/2016, quantity edit 5, wholesale, let's say $20.25 for the price, and it says record was entered. I don't know why it says no more books may be added. I have to look at that, but it entered the book, so let's add another one. Title 2, ISBN 2, author 2, publisher 2, and let's do 30/2016, and we edit 50 of them, and wholesale price is 40 and retail price is 55. Okay, so we have that, and let's go to our let's look up the book. So let's do the partial search for title, or just TITL, and it says a possible match title 2. I don't know what happened to title 1. Did I misspell it or something? That should find it too. So there's something wrong already. So if I click no, the book search was not in inventory. I probably have something with the loop, or I'm out of the good brackets. All right, so I debugged the program, and yeah, there were quite a few, mostly logical errors. So let's fix them. So the first thing that we're gonna be working on is the inventory menu file, and our lookup function, that one was okay. That one seemed to be working okay, but our addBook function, we are simply looping through 20 rows and adding 20 titles. But we don't really want to do that like that. We want to add only because it just keeps like looping until the row is less than a number of books. So we have to get a condition there to kind of find the first book whose element is 0. That way we won't be not the brackets. We will not be just looping through all 20 empty spaces. So if the book title of the indexes row and 0 is equal to 0, then that's where we will add this record. Otherwise we would be just overriding them and making 20 of them. So I'm gonna copy paste that and paste it into our if statement there. And so this is our end if, and cout, this is end for loop, and but before we end the for loop, since we are breaking from the for loop, if once we're done, after the end if, we will output cout no more books are added. In other words, if we loop through 20 of them and nothing is added, the break is not executed, so it will come down to here and it will say no more books may be added, because we are already our inventory is already full. So editBook, well, there was a problem here. We get the search title here, but we need to go and do it to our uppercase. Otherwise, we would never be able to find it unless we as a partial, or anyway, unless we type it exactly with lowercase and uppercase as it is in our arrays. So that's why we need to convert it to uppercase first, just like all the others. So that's that. And there was one more in our switch statement. We get the ISBN, we get the title and all. Again, we need to go and send it to our upper string function, ISBN row. And I'm gonna just copy paste it and paste it over to our title, but it's, so I'll change the ISBN to book title. This is gonna be the author, this is gonna be the publisher, and we have the date added. All right, the quantity and all that stays the same. We don't, the numbers are all right. So we have our until this, and this is all correct. Now delete book. I'm using a response, a character response, to get the response whether or not to delete the book. We don't really need it. We can use yes, no. So I'm gonna delete that one. And I'm gonna change it over here. Okay, we got our for loop. We check if the titles that we are searching for exists, and we get the yes, no. And if it is yes, if it's the title that the user wants to delete, we will ask the user if the user wants to delete the title or not. So we can actually use yes, no even for that. And now we have to check whether the user actually entered Y or N. So we have to go and do our while loop, and actually it's the same like this one. All right, I'll copy it. So we do our while loop here, and we will say, because this assumes that the user entered a wrong value, not Y or N. So we will tell the user that the match was found, and we ask him to please enter Y or N. And we'll ask him again, hey, do you really want to delete it? And we'll capture the response again. So I'll just copy paste, would you like to delete? And yes. So when we come over here, the Y yes already is set either to yes or no. And if it is set to yes, then we will delete the record. And if it's set to no, then we will simply say, hey, record was not deleted. So that's our inventory menu. The next, we can do the cashier. There was some issues actually there. Now the first thing, I need to import or include the string to upper header, because when we come down here, we are asking for ISBN, but I mean ISBN is numbers, but in our purposes I'm sometimes entering characters, and I don't know if international ISBN can have characters or letters, so I'm gonna send it to string uppercase anyway. So because when I use characters, I need them in uppercase. So ISBN number and the counter. So we have this is correct. And over here, if you notice, I'm comparing the values, but I have to set it to compare it whether it equals to 0. In other words, that what makes it match. Do they match? Is the comparison equal to 0? If it is, then they match. So I forgot that. That's why it would never work. It wouldn't work properly. So that's our cashier and our reports. And so the main reports, that was okay. There was nothing there. But the functions for the listings, over here when we are checking if the ISBNs matches, we have to, when we are not printing the empty records over here, this is not valid for, it's not gonna work for C strings. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a character, I call it AND. It's gonna be a character array, but only with one element. I'll initialize it to this /0. And that basically means the end of the line. So when I come over here, so I'm going, because this is C string, and which is array, I'm checking each character. This right now I have it set up basically just checking the strings right here when I check in the ISBN. That's not correct. What I need to do is for C strings, I need to do the string compare string CMP, and it's gonna be the ISBN of the index I, and the second will be the AND. That's the AND character. And if that doesn't equal to 0, then we can print it. Otherwise, if it does equal to 0, then we're at the end of the line and there's nothing to print. So I'm gonna copy this because I'm gonna use it in all the others as well. When I go to wholesale, it's the same thing. I'm going to create a character AND. It's gonna be an array, and it will have the /0 in it. And we will come over here, and again we will replace the if statement like that. Same with the retail. Once again, character AND, and it equals character array with one element in it, and we will replace the if statement here with the correct one. Alright, so that's that. The quantity report, that will use the character as well. Also over here we have the string date, which we really don't want. We want a character and string size, because we're changing it to string the C strings. And over here I'm gonna create the same thing. Oops, I'm sorry, not this thing. The character AND, and it will equal to the /0. And I'll replace this if statement as well. In fact, I'm gonna copy these 3 lines because they're gonna be the same for the report cost. And it's gonna go right here. It will add the character array. Yeah, that's it. That's the report cost. And age, that's gonna be, once again, date is, so I do it character, oops, sorry. That's gonna be character, date, string, size. Actually, did I miss it here? I don't know. In the cost, no, I have that one correct as a C string. But I'm going to change this. This is in the age function. I'm gonna replace it again with the character array. Oh, this is not I. This is supposed to be J, because these are looping integer J. So I think this one is wrong too. Yeah, it's not supposed to be I, but J. And this one as well. I think the others have I. I don't know, I don't have it the same, but hey. Okay, so that's that. And let's run it. Okay, I pressed the wrong button. Okay, I'm having some problems here. So let's try again. And it's building. Alright, so first thing, let's add some books. So let's go to add book. I'm gonna add title 1, ISBN 1, author 1, publisher 1, and this one will be 5/30/2016. Let's say we added 5, wholesale is 10, retail is 20. Let's add another one, title 2, ISBN 2, author 2, publisher 2, and this one would be 5, I don't know, 20, just 20, 2016. Quantity added, let's say 50, wholesale price 75, retail 100. And let's do one more, just to make sure everything is working fine. Author 3, publisher 3. Let's say this one will be 5/11/2016. And quantity added, let's say 25, wholesale price 30, and retail 35. So now we have 3 books. Let's test the lookUpBook function. So enter the title. So let's do just title, but only TITL, and it should find, okay, title 1. Is that the one? No. Let's see if it finds the other one. Yep. And it found the third one. If I press N now, it says, well, sorry, there is no such book in the inventory if neither of these 3 is correct. So, but let's do again, and this time actually, let's choose the second one. I'll press yes, this is the one, and here it is, ISBN 2. It displays all the information. So let's edit something. Let's edit again. We'll do the partial search. No, I don't want to search this one. Not title 2, but yeah, title 3. That's the one I want to edit. And let's edit I don't know, date that it was added to inventory. Currently it says 5/11. Let's change it to 5/12/2016. All right, so if I go now and exit and look up the book, and it was on first, I think it was the second, right? And no, it was the third one actually. Or was it? So it's gonna be title, not this one, not this one. Maybe it was the third one. Yeah, the third one, and it has now 5/12/2016. So that's working okay. That's the edit and lookup. Let's delete one at the end. First, before we do, let's check the cashier module. So let's do ISBN 2, and it found the title, and I want to order 2 books. Do I want to add another one? Sure, I'll add another one. The date is 20/2016. It doesn't matter what the date is. and I have ISBN 3, and it found a book, and I want to add 3 books of that, and that's it, just these 2 titles. And here it is. I have 2 quantities of ISBN. I forgot which one it was, and it was it throws the totals 200 because I'm ordering 2 titles and 305. That seems to be okay. So enter your choice. It's asking if we want another transaction. I say no. And now I'm going to report modules, and let's check those. So I have report inventory listing, just a bunch of numbers for the date, and it displays 3 books that we have. And wholesale value, again, but this time it goes by whatever. It's the wholesale value report. It displays the wholesale values. If it's the retail value, again, it displays the retail value. What's the next? Quantity, and that's the quantity. Finally, we have the listing by cost. This time it actually sorts it by the cost and by age, and it goes from the newest to the oldest. But I think the wholesale value was not correct, and the retail value, it was like, yeah, it should be, oh no, it's just by title. We're just displaying what the wholesale value is in overall. We don't really, that's the cost. The listing by cost is organized by wholesale value from the highest to the lowest. The quantity, the retail value, it simply lists all these titles by the title. I'm pretty sure that's how it is now. So retail, yeah, title 1, 2, 3, and then it basically over here it just says what the retail value is. Alright, so let's return to main menu, and now let's go to our inventory database module again and delete a book. So let's do the title. So again, partial search. Do I want to delete this one? No, I want to delete a different one, and it says the record was not deleted, but it threw me right off, and it shouldn't. I should stay there and go to the title 2. So this one is still not working correctly, but so that one I have to check still. So let's do that. And the reason we are asking here to basically, okay, here's the match. Is this the match that you want? If not, then we have to move all the way to the end to another for loop, to the another iteration. So actually, when we are asking whether to delete it, over here, all this checking the while loop all the way to the break. I'm gonna cut that, and it actually has to go within this if yes no equals y. In other words, okay, this is the correct match. So now we come over here and we ask the user, do you want to delete it? The user says yes or no. We'll check whether he actually said yes or no, and if he said yes, we will delete it, else we will not. So it was just a matter of not being the block of code not being in the proper other block of code. So let's run it again. This time let's just check the delete function, because all the others stay the same. Let's add some books. Title 1, as always, ISBN 1, author 1, publisher 1, 5/20, 2016, 5/50, 500. The values don't really matter except the title. And ISBN 2, author 2, publisher 2. I write 3, but that doesn't matter. Again, I don't know, 29, 2016. Quantity added 7, 70, 700. And now let's try to delete a book. So it asks for a partial keyword. And is it this the one you want? Let's say no. And what if I say no? Then it says, okay, there was no match in title. So now let's actually delete one. Let's delete the second one. So let's make this one no. We want the title number 2. If we press yes, it displays the information about the title and asks, do you really want to delete the record? So let's press N. And it says, okay, record was not deleted. But this time, let's make sure we actually delete it. We want to delete it. Yes. And it says record was deleted. And let's do a lookup. And if I type title, partial, it's asked for title 1. I say no, that's not the one. And there's no other. It just says, okay, you searched for it, but it's not in the inventory. All right, so this was a little long chapter for C strings, but I think we have it working. There's probably still some bugs there, which we will discover in the next videos, but for now, this is the chapter 10 for C strings, and I will see you in the video for chapter 11. Take care.